We are very glad to have you, Anandita. Welcome to India Home.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving such a wonderful introduction of mine. And I thank all the guests who are present here. It is so wonderful to see every one of you, listening so well and participating also. I was also going like listening to you and your question answer session and everything. I was enjoying too. So, but now I'll start the session. I hope everyone is able to hear me very clearly.
Your voice is echoing, Anandita.
My voice is echoing.
Yeah, it's not very clear.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah, I made you co-host. If you want to share the screen, you can do it.
Yes, I am sharing the screen. I hope everyone can see the slide.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
Perfect.
So good morning again. I will be taking a session on a very important part of our life, that is nutrition and how it can impact our life. So when we talk about life, we actually talk about the quality and the quantity of life, you can say, like how much we live, how many years we live, and how well we live. So if both of them are fine, then we say yes, we have got a good life, right? So now nutrition has a very important role to play here. So if proper nutrition is given, then it is the foundation pillar of long and healthy life. Now, first, if you know what is nutrition, so nutrition is actually made up of, so it is a science which is made up of so many nutrients. Some of them are macronutrients, some of them are micronutrients. I think most of us know a little about nutrition. For example, macronutrients are carbohydrate, protein, and fat, and micronutrients are the vitamins, minerals. These are the antioxidants. So now nutrition actually is consisted of all these things. It will be having carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, mineral, water, fiber, and how they're impacting us. So nutrition is always, helping our health getting better. So there are many kinds of nutrition. So I will be talking about the different types of nutrition or maybe the different diets which are very important for you, so that we can unlock the secrets of longevity, and we can also help in the making the quality of the life better. That is, we have to be vital. Okay, so what is the importance of this nutrition, or what is the importance of the dietary choice we make? Suppose if we tend to choose, if I have, if I go to a mall, or if I go to some place and I have the choice that I will be choosing a burger, and I have a choice that I will be choosing a healthy balanced meal, for example, a dosa or a platter which is rice, dal, and everything. So which one will I choose? So that is the so that choice. If I choose my food well, then if I choose a balanced diet which gives me proper nutrition, then I am going to increase my longevity. So a balanced diet, which is rich in essential nutrients, it will help to reduce the risk of any chronic disease. For example, diabetes, heart disease, certain type of cancer that can reduce the life span or give us a premature death. And this death is actually not a splendid death. It will come with many kinds of problems, pain, and symptoms, which is draining emotionally, physically, as well as financially. Now, when we make a good dietary choice, we improve our vitality, or we increase the vitality. So, proper nutrition provides the building blocks for our body to function optimally. It will promote our energy. We will always have this energy. We will be having mental clarity. Definitely, when we are well, when we have a lot of energy, then we have a mental clarity also. We know what to do. We are strong at that time and we have confidence. There is an overall well-being in ourselves. And dietary choice is also very important because it helps in preventing the different types of diseases. So it is not going to reduce the risk of disease as well as prevent the different types of disease. Certain diet, for example, Mediterranean diet, which has been practiced by Mediterranean people, it has been linked to lower risk of age-related diseases, supporting a healthy aging. Now, if you can see this, you can see that balanced nutrition for health and longevity is very important. So you have to have a micronutrient balance. So can you see this balance, this picture? So if you can see this picture, so there is a balance in between. So our nutrition should be balanced. So we should be ensuring a proper balance of carbohydrate, protein, and healthy fats. It is essential for maintaining the overall health and longevity. Now, can you see this picture? Now, this you can see it is made up of so many rocks. It is balancing as well, and it has a variety. So, which means that consuming a wide range of vitamin, mineral, and antioxidants from whole nutrient-dense foods will be able to support our cell function. It will reduce the inflammation. And third is we have to improve our hydration level or our fiber level. So whenever there is a proper hydration, when we are consuming a good amount of dietary fiber, it is going to promote the digestive health. It is going to support the vital, important body processes of digestion, of absorption, everything. Now again, gut health is very important. So what is gut health? Gut is actually the intestine, and we have so many good bacteria in our intestine. So these bacteria, when we have a very good impact on our health. Okay, how? They reduce the toxin creation, they reduce the anxiety, depression, they help in reducing heart disease, they help in reducing any kind of gastrointestinal disease, diabetes, any kind of cancer, especially colon cancer, any kind of vascular disease or blood pressure. It is so much related. So it is related to the mental well-being, it is related to the metabolic well-being, it improves the immune health, and thus it is very important. So now what type of diet you choose is also very important for your gut health. Suppose if I eat a good amount of junk food, for example, I am taking very high amount of refined food, then what will happen? I will not have a diverse amount of gut bacteria. Now, when you have a diverse or different types of gut bacteria in the colon, it will help in improving the health of the body, and it is also going to reduce the disease risk. It is going to reduce the inflammation in the body, and it will lessen the chance of any kind of health issue and also reduce the process of aging. Now, nutrient absorption. So again, gut health has a long relationship with nutrient absorption. So as this gut bacteria is very good, so these good bacteria are going to help in absorb all the nutrients. For example, the fat, the different type of vitamin, mineral, all these things are better absorbed in the body when our gut bacteria are well. And gut bacteria is only well when you know how to choose the food. Now, let's talk about the aging. How does aging process take place and what are the causes which are related to aging? So now, if someone's diet is nutrient depleted, what do we mean by nutrient depleted? That means it is not a balanced diet. That means some of these macro or micronutrients are absent in the diet, or they are not as per the requirement. If the person is having an overeating, so when overeating is there, there is a lot of change in the body. The body goes through metabolic change. There is high sugar level, high pressure level, high weight, and all this can increase the aging process. Poor stress management. So when there is a higher amount of stress, also we do not know what we eat, how we eat, because under stress we tend to eat lots of bad food or junk food or not balanced food. So again, it is going to increase the aging process. Too much of sugar intake. So now I think many of us, they do not take sugar. Now sugar is actually a very bad food for us. Now why is it bad? Because it ages our body. It ages our organs. So if our organs are not doing well, how can we put up with a good health? Now also, again, a higher amount of weight, a higher amount of waist hip ratio. So if the waist circumference and the hip circumference, they are very high compared to the body surface area or compared to the person's weight, and if the weight is also very high, that can also increase the chances of aging. Now there are three parts of aging, that is the early adulthood, the middle age and the older adulthood. So their nutrition during these stages are very different from each other. So in the early adulthood, there are nutritional needs, mostly typically for supporting the growth, development, and maintaining the healthy body weight. In the middle age, there are changes in the body. So this change in the body is that the body's ability to absorb and utilize certain nutrients that decrease. So maybe the person who was absorbing the protein very well in the middle age, he won't be able to absorb the protein very well. And if the absorption process is not proper, what can happen is that the person can have a lower amount of protein. And thus, special care has to be given from this period itself. So the middle age period is very crucial because if all the nutrients are not provided or adjusted at that time, the deficiency starts taking place. That is why people who take good amount of calcium, mostly women who take good amount of calcium, vitamin D, phosphorus, they do not have any problem later on. For example, women are prone to osteoporosis after 60. We know that, right? So the bone health, bone pain, all these things, they are very high. So bone health is low, the bone pain is very high, joint pain is very high. Why is it so? It is because in the middle age time, if there is a deficiency, that deficiency has taken a huge shape, and that has given rise to these problems. Now, for older adulthood, in the later stages of life, nutrition needs often change again with a focus on preserving the muscle mass, bone health, and cognitive function. At this period, the nutrition is actually for management and preservation of the body. That means whatever bone calcium is present, that has to be preserved, that has to be maintained. So our body's nutrition will be focusing on maintenance of the body. Okay, so and if there is a gap, nutrition gap in the middle age time, in the older adulthood time, it is very much normal to have a deficiency and a disease risk. Now, how can you change the nutritional needs with age? So you have to focus on these four things. What are the four things? Protein needs, calcium and vitamin D, hydration and vitamin B12. Now, why are they so important? So the protein needs are quite high because the person has to maintain the amount of muscle mass and strength with the change of the age. So as we age, there is a change in the muscle mass also. So the muscle mass, they start wasting. So to stop wasting of the muscle mass and to maintain the muscle mass, we need a higher protein need. Previously, we had this idea that older people, they do not need a higher amount of protein. But now, as we do research, as we read so many papers, we have understood that old people or people who are in their middle age and they are transporting or transversing to the later age, they need a higher amount of protein so that they can be vital, they can be active, so that they can have that kind of capability to work. Okay. Now, calcium and vitamin D also is increased because the bone health has to be maintained and there should be a lower amount of risk of osteoporosis. Hydration is very important because as we age, the body's thirst mechanism, it becomes less sensitive and sometimes we forget to drink water and thus we cannot maintain our hydration. Vitamin B12, everyone has vitamin B12 deficiency. So definitely why not like the older age? So absorption of the vitamin B12 is very low and it decreases with age and there is a need for supplementation of vitamin B12 in the older age. Now as we age, we will be needing different things. We have to meet the nutritional needs. So we have to have a balanced, varied diet. So we have to consume a diverse range of nutrients. We have to take whole food products. It should be with fiber. The food products we eat should be nutrient dense. It should not be refined. It should not be only, that only cereal. It should not be only carbohydrate. It should not be only protein. So it should be carbohydrate, protein, fat, fiber, vitamin, mineral, all together. So that diet can help us in meeting our nutritional requirement. Also, we have this idea that with diet, we may not be able to meet the nutritional requirement. So sometimes we need to supplement ourselves with different vitamins and minerals. But that also with caution. Because again, when we take a very high amount of supplement, our kidneys do not work well with so much of supplements. So especially vitamin B12, calcium and vitamin, these are the most important supplements that should be taken. So you should not be juggling like the girl is juggling with the supplements. You should be taking focused supplement or the deficient supplements. And also staying hydrated because drinking plenty of water and other fluids throughout the day is very much crucial for the aging process. There was a study, as I remember, that people who were dehydrated, they found that the function of the organ was very less. Whereas people who were hydrated well, those people had or those participants, their work or the energy output was very well. So hydration is very much important to maintain the metabolism. Okay, so the energy output or the energy which you are providing or energy which you are shedding, some people they gain weight very fast. One of the reasons is that they are not hydrated. So if the hydration is not proper, you are lowering the metabolism and thus you are changing your body's way of working. So again, water is very important for the body. So now I will tell you how hydration and longevity are related. So water intake is very important for the organ function. So it boosts the brain, it helps the lungs, stomach, heart, boosts the energy. It normalizes the blood pH. That means it maintains the acidity and alkalinity of the blood. It gives a good mood. It provides us with a healthy skin. It helps in nutrient transportation and waste removal. How can we hydrate ourselves? Drinking water is the best way. So a person should be having at least around 8 to 10 glasses of water every day. Apart from that, there are many kinds of watery drinks, for example, herbal teas or coconut water, juices, vegetable soups. So they are very watery in nature. So they are very good hydration foods or hydrating foods. And also remember, they are full of antioxidants. For example, any kind of herbal tea, whether you make it in home or you buy it from outside, tea itself is a very good, phenolic compound. It has a higher amount of phenol level. That phenol is an antioxidant and it reduces the aging process. Now, what are the key nutrients we have to focus on? The key nutrients are antioxidants, omega-3, probiotic, and fiber. So why antioxidants are so important? Because antioxidants, they reduce the amount of cell damage. So whenever there is a higher amount of cell damage, what happens in our body is that the cells die very fast. So whenever the cell die or get damaged very fast, our organs also age very fast. So if our organ ages very fast, there is no one to work for us. So these organs, they're very precious and they perform everyday work. So the basic work, for example, if we breathe also, our lung has to work properly. Our heart has to work continuously. So for these, we need different types of antioxidants. So vitamin C, vitamin E, carotenoids, and the other antioxidants, phenols, and many other types of antioxidants, they help the cells protect themselves from the damage, from the oxidative damage or the environmental factor damage, and they help us to support our health. And when we support our health, the aging process is very slow, and thus we, we do not age, or we age very less, and our organs are better, so they work better, the functions are better. Okay, so now coming to omega-3 fatty acids, I think omega-3 fatty acids are like everyone is very much aware of omega-3 fatty acids. Mostly it is found in fish oil, it is found in avocados, it is found in different types of seeds, for example, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, eggs, dry fruits, for example, walnut, almonds, and different types of seeds, for example, chia seeds. So these kinds of these kind of foods, they provide omega-3. Now, omega-3 is actually healthy fat, and it has a tendency to reduce inflammation, and it supports the brain and heart health. So actually, it keeps the three systems very well. One, cardiovascular system. Number two, nervous system. Number three, the mental system. For example, the mental health. So these three systems are actually dependent on omega-3. So when we are taking a good amount of omega-3, we are actually conserving our heart, our brain, as well as our nerves. Next is the probiotic. The probiotic is very important. Previously, I was talking about gut health and everything, and how it promotes the absorption, and how it helps in digestion. It improves the immune function, and thus it reduces the aging. So now, what are probiotics? Probiotics are actually some bacteria containing foods. For example, something which is curdled. For example, milk when it is in a curd form, or yogurt, or fermented foods. For example, our Indian idli batters, or dosa batters, or you can say tofu, tempeh, miso, then sauerkraut, or fermented vegetables. These are called probiotics, and they have a very good amount of health effect. They actually are supporting our overall health, not only the digestive system, but also the mental health, the cardiovascular health, and also the metabolic health. So people who take probiotic every day or fermented food every day, they can maintain the weight very well. So for them, the weight maintenance, the sugar maintenance, the BP maintenance, everything is very well. And thus, probiotics are very good, and it reduces the healthy aging. Now, when we talk about probiotic, the another part, or another word, or another part of probiotic is actually the prebiotic. So what is prebiotic? Prebiotic is the food for probiotic. Okay, so probiotic, or these organisms, these bacteria which are present in these fermented foods, they cannot survive without the fiber. So what are fiber? These are actually dietary fibers. All the vegetables, all the fruits, all the whole grains, they have the dietary fiber. So these dietary fibers, they're very important. They maintain our sugar level, they maintain our blood pressure level, they help in supporting our gut health by providing food for the different good bacteria. They also help in cardiovascular function. Now coming to the role of antioxidants. So these antioxidants, they are very essential molecules, and they protect our cells from damage caused by free radicals, helping to promote the overall health and longevity. So how can we incorporate this in these foods in our diet? That is going to be actually a strategy to improve the immunity or the natural defense system. So what are the food sources of antioxidants? Different colored fruits, different colored vegetables, nuts and seeds, they are the powerhouse of the antioxidants. Fruits like berries, citrus fruit, pomegranates, kiwis, they are packed with powerful antioxidants like vitamin C, carotenoids, and flavonoids. Vegetables, different dark colored leafy green vegetables, bell peppers, tomatoes, broccoli, and whatever colored vegetables if you see in the market, please go and grab them because they are full of antioxidants. They have lutein, they have zeaxanthin, and they have sulforaphane. Nuts and seeds are also very important. Nuts like almonds, walnuts, pecans, chia seeds, they contain high levels of vitamin E, selenium, and healthy fats, which have very high amount of antioxidant properties. Now, how do you incorporate these antioxidants in your diet? So you can make smoothies. So how do you make smoothies? So you can add different types of berries. You can blend the blueberries or raspberries or blackberries into your morning smoothies, and that will give you an antioxidants boost. You can roast your vegetables to preserve these antioxidants. So you can toss broccoli, Brussels sprouts, different kind of bell peppers in olive oil and roast them very well. And these are actually very delicious. And you can restore the antioxidant side of it. You can snack on nuts. So people mostly are confused what to snack on. If I'm hungry, what do I eat in between? So at the time, take a handful of almonds, take walnuts or pecans. That is going to be very satisfying for your taste as well as it is full of antioxidants. Even hummus. So if you dip raw vegetables in like carrots, cucumber or bell peppers in nutrient-dense hummus, also it is an antioxidant boost. Now, omega-3 fatty acids. So omega-3 fatty acids are very important for the brain health. So it helps in cognitive function. It helps in the brain for development. It helps the cognitive function, for example, the memory and the focus. That also improves the attention. Whatever we have learned previously, what we are learning every day, that also improves. We tend to remember everything very well. The mental health is also well. So the amount of depression or any kind of mental health condition also reduces if you take omega-3 fatty acids every day. Also, the chances of Alzheimer's, the chances of Parkinson's, and all kinds of nerve degeneration disease, for example, nerve damage diseases, they are also less. So the omega-3 fatty acids, they have an anti-inflammatory property. That means it protects the brain from all age-related problems. Okay, so as we age, our nerves, they become, a little, damaged, or you can say, because nerves cannot multiply. Cells can multiply very well, but nerves cannot multiply. We are born with this. We have a certain set of nerves throughout our life, and we have to, maintain those nerves for our life so that we can perform all the nervous actions. So that is why maintaining our nervous system is so important. So what are the food sources of omega-3? Fatty fishes, nuts, seeds, eggs, avocados. These are all different good sources of omega-3. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, tuna, they are excellent sources of long-chain omega-3 fatty acids. For example, EPA, which is eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, which is docosahexaenoic acid. There are different nuts and seeds, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds. They contain the plant-based omega-3, which is ALA. Eggs from hens who are fed on omega-3 rich diet, they provide a good source of these beneficial fats. Avocado, like this superfood, avocado is very important because it has omega-9 fatty acid, which works same like omega-3. So now the importance of omega-3 is that it helps in maintaining the heart health, it reduces the inflammation, supports the cardiovascular function, lowers the risk of heart disease, it improves the immune function, And also it helps in giving anti-inflammatory properties that can help regulate the immune system and improve the overall health. It supports our metabolism, it manages the blood sugar level, it maintains our body weight by improving the insulin secretion of our body. So I want to correct one thing. It is insulin secretion as well as insulin action. Sometimes what happens is that insulin is being secreted, but it does not act very well. So that is called insulin resistance. So omega-3 has resulted in reduction in the resistance of insulin. So when we take omega-3 foods, it is very good for diabetics because they can use whatever insulin they are able to produce in their body. Now, what kind of foods to be taken? Whether we should take supplements or we should say take whole foods. So whole foods are always better. Supplements are support. So whole foods, we should be consuming more amount of omega-3 and antioxidants because they are very well distributed. They provide a synergistic blend of nutrients and they give maximum health benefits. So we should be always going or approaching towards whole foods rather than supplements. Supplements are there to just mend the gap. Wherever there is a gap, wherever there is a deficiency, suppose a person is not able to meet up the fiber or the person is not able to meet up the vitamin or mineral, at that time, we can give supplements. Okay, so our approach should be a balanced approach where we should be taking whole foods and we should be using supplements whenever it is required. Now, what is the impact of excess sugar? Now, sugar is not very good. We know that, right? Sugar increases the inflammation, it increases the aging. So, excess sugar consumption, it promotes inflammation in the body and increases the aging. High sugar intake is again linked to different types of diseases because again it reduces the amount of insulin action. So obesity, type 2 diabetes, these are also increased. Sugar also contributes to the formation of AGE. Now what is AGE? So AGE is actually a biochemical action. It is called advanced glycation. Advanced glycation is actually same like damaging the cells and tissues. So this advanced glycation and end products are being secreted in our body when we take a higher amount of sugar. And when we are having this sugar, it is going to accelerate the aging. A diet which is high in added sugars, that also reduces the amount of memory and the cognitive performance. So how we can change the sugar, because everyone has a sweet tooth. I have not seen, or maybe there are very few people who do not like sugar or they do not like sweet stuff. Okay, but how we can change, or how we can substitute sugar? So we can use dates, we can use berries, we can also use stevia. Okay, so what are dates? So dates are very important. Dates are very high in fiber, vitamins and minerals. It is a natural sweetener. It can be used for bakery products. It can be used in different types of commodities. Berries, so they are low in sugar but packed with antioxidants and they are great for desserts and snacks. Even fruits, any kind of fruit can be and good alternative for refined sugars. Or if you can add fruits, or if you can add different types of dry fruits or dates in your custards or your puddings, then I don't think you need sugar because there is a good amount of sweet taste and a good taste. So you get nutrition as well, you can meet up the proper taste as well, and you can also ignore the sugar. Okay. Now, what are the strategies for reducing the sugar intake? So limit the processed food, for example, foods which have a high amount of sugar, like soda, candy, baked goods or baked foods. Choose natural sweeteners. For example, you can go for honey, or you can go for fruit, or you can go for jaggery. And you have to read the labels very well so that you can understand how much sugar it has. You have to hydrate with water. You have to take a good amount of water. So if you take a good amount of water, again it reduces the sugar craving. Okay, so now I'll be talking about the healthy living strategies, that how we can incorporate all the healthy living strategies in the diet, and what are the important diets which will help us. Okay, so there are different type of diet strategies which promote the healthy aging and longevity. So all these diets, what they do is they reduce the inflammation, they reduce the aging, they reduce the damage of the cell. So they reduce the amount of mitochondrial dysfunction. They reduce the genetic changes. They help in giving proper amount of insulin. They also increase the amount of gut microbiome. They help in maintaining all kinds of pathways. The toxin production is also less. So what are the diets? They are Okinawa diet, Dash diet, Mediterranean diet, Nordic diet, planetary diet, plant-based diet. So all these are very good diets. Okay, so I will be talking about these diets. How do they help us? They reduce the chronic diseases, they reduce the physical disability, they improve the cognitive functioning, they improve the mental health, and they improve the healthy lifespan. Now, if you see, this is the food hourglass for longevity, where you can see what you have to take less and what you have to take more. Okay, so they have said all kinds of unhealthy, fatty, fried, fast food, junk food, soft drinks, that has to be less, and they have to be supplemented with whole foods, good proteins, vegetables, good amount of fruits, dark chocolate, low sugar desserts, plant-based yogurts. All these things are very good. Olive oil or olives, these are very good for our body. Okay. Now, first that I want to talk about is intermittent fasting. I know many of us have heard about intermittent fasting. So what is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is when you are fasting for a certain amount of time. For example, it ranges from 12 to 18 hours. So some people fast for 12 hours, some 14, some 16, and some 18. And the fasting is actually that it helps in the cellular renewal. It helps in the process of removing the damaged cells and helps to generate new cells in the body. So in the cellular level, it is giving you a new life, okay, or it is reducing the aging by improving the cellular generation or cell making. Now the second is the metabolic adaptation. So it also reduces the amount of insulin resistance. Okay, so the insulin is able to work properly, and thus when the insulin is able to work properly, everything is proper. The weight is proper, the sugar is proper, the person's inflammation rate is proper. So there is lower amount of inflammation rate. The person does not go through any kind of body changes. There is hormonal regulation. So there are different hormones also which are balanced because of intermittent fasting. People who have PCOS or PCOD, they also can do intermittent fasting. For diabetics and PCOD patients who have a major problem with the insulin and the hormones, they can also follow this intermittent fasting that can help in reducing the aging process and the damage of the body. Now the second diet is DASH diet. So what is DASH diet? DASH diet is very important for reducing the amount of blood pressure, and it is very good for maintaining the heart health. So it is very important because many of us, we face this blood pressure issue when we age. So in the DASH diet, what they have told is that should be a balanced intake of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins. There should be low fat dairy, and there should be minimum amount of salt. The amount of salt should be minimum, and there should be no table salt which should be added to the food. And the food should be always cooked in low heat, and there should be lower amount of oil. And the oil should be a good blend of oil. That means there should be a good blend of different kind of fatty acids in the oil. And thus, this food will be very high in fiber, having good amount of fat, and thus it will be helping in maintaining the blood pressure and keeping the heart well. The third type of diet, and very important type of diet, is the Mediterranean diet. This is the king of the diet, you can say. Okay, because it has given a major, change in people's lives. So many people have got so many good changes when they have adapted Mediterranean diet. So the Mediterranean diet is a renowned eating pattern that emphasizes whole plant-based foods, healthy fats, and moderate consumption of animal products. So this holistic approach to nutrition is linked to numerous health benefits. For example, improve heart health, reducing risk of different chronic diseases, and increasing the longevity or increasing the lifespan. So it helps in improving the heart health by lowering the risk of heart disease, stroke, and cardiovascular conditions. This diet is rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. It provides longevity by changing the eating pattern, and people who take Mediterranean diet, they experience lower amount of these chronic diseases, and there is a improved overall health outcome. The chronic disease prevention is also being found, for example, type 2 diabetes, certain types of cancer, or neuro damage or nerve damage conditions. These all have lessened when Mediterranean diet is adapted. And this is not me speaking, this is actually research which has been done on many people who have adapted Mediterranean diet, and they have found that it has so much of good effect. So plant-based diet, healthy fat, moderate wine, and lifestyle. So these are the four pillars of the Mediterranean diet. So in plant-based diet, mostly consumption of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, healthy fats from olive oil, nuts, fish, because they are high sources of omega-3 fatty acids, moderate wine, because red wine is an occasionally if it is taken, it is a good source of antioxidant. Again, lifestyle, if there is a good amount of physical activity, social connection, then it is good. So the health benefits of Mediterranean eating pattern is that the heart health is always better, because the Mediterranean diet can improve the cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of heart disease. The diabetes management is very good because it can change the eating pattern, and the regulation of the blood sugar level, insulin is very good. The brain function, the amount of antioxidant and the anti-inflammatory properties or the products which are present in Mediterranean diet, it protects the nerves. So the cognitive function and the risk of neurodegeneration disease is very less. So how can you incorporate this diet in your meals? So you have to focus on plant-based diets. You have to take more amount of whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes. When choosing fats, you have to be very careful. Take more amount of lean meats, or go for fish. You can go for olive oil. If it is extra virgin, it is always better. Take more amounts of nuts, seeds. Limit the amount of processed foods. For example, foods which are very high in sodium or very high in sugar, please read the food labels to understand that whether it contains a very high amount of salt and sugar. And also, if you are having a good time while you're eating with family and friends, if you have a social eating that can which makes your meal time merry, so that you can connect with family and friends, that also changes the way the food is being absorbed in your body. Okay, so the now importance of this plant-based nutrition is that these plant-based foods, they are actually packed with vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants. They are anti-inflammatory in nature, so they reduce the risk of chronic disease. They improve the gut health, and they are very easy to sustain. That means you do not need anything. If you have a garden of your own, you can also make your own organic vegetables. Okay, so it is not dependent on any kind of animal products. So any kind of plant food is also good. So what are the benefits of the plant-based diet for longevity? So it reduces the risk of chronic diseases, improves the metabolic health, and promotes the longevity. Okay, so now the role of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, nuts and seeds, they are very important, and all these should be balanced, because again, they are a huge source of different types of micronutrients or antioxidants, and which have a very good impact. So there are phytochemicals, there are phytonutrients, there are antioxidants. So all these reduce the damage of the cell, and thus they help in a healthy aging in the body. So what are the tips for adopting a plant-based eating pattern? So you can start slowly. You can, start like 60 to 70% of your diet should be plant-based. So you should be, eating the food like raw as well as cooked. You should be using different types of herbs, and you can plan ahead so that you can, adopt this diet in a better way. Because there in plant diets also there are something called vegan diet and vegetarian diets. So what are vegan diets? Vegan diets are actually diets which do not contain any animal products. So the milk items which are used in vegan diets actually are from the different nuts. For example, almond milk or coconut milk or oats milk. So these are different types of milk which is got from plant origin. Okay, and these are vegan in origin. So now these, as they are not taken from animal products, number one is that they do not contain any steroids, they do not contain any antibiotics. So they are very healthy and they do not cause cancers. Okay, so the amount of the cancer causing substances are very less. So for cancer patients, vegan diet is very helpful. Okay, but the only problem is with vegan diet is that the amount of vitamin B12, meeting up the requirement of vitamin B12 is very difficult for this. So again, diabetes prevention is very important for diabetic people and for normal people as well. And vegan diet, they are having a higher amount of fiber, and so it has shown that diabetes can be prevented, even the weight can be managed when a vegan diet is adopted in in someone's life or an individual's life. So what does vegan diet contain? It will contain different type of vegetables, different type of fruits, whole grains, millets, different types of seeds, different types of nuts, all these things. It is devoid of different types of oils. It is devoid of any kind of animal related products. Now there is another diet which is called Weight Watchers diet. So this is actually being used by people who want to change their weight and who want to maintain their weight. So now this Weight Watchers diet is actually adapting a healthy kind of a diet. Okay, and it is actually a modification of the Mediterranean diet where a little amount of calorie has been reduced, and the balanced diet and the nutrient approach eating is being counseled to these patients. So this diet is a long-term diet for people who gain weight very fast. The another diet is Ornish diet. Ornish diet is very good again. Ornish diet is again a modification of the plant-based diet. So it is very good for heart disease prevention, low fat. It is high fiber. Again, it helps in changing the lifestyle very well, because when you take these kinds of diets, your goal changes. The way you see the food changes, and your lifestyle also changes. So the food choices you make, they become much more healthier, and your metabolic profile or the lipids, that is the cholesterol, and then your triglycerides, the LDL, VLDL, all these come in range. Your HDL gets better because of these kinds of diets. Now, I think every one of you have heard of ketogenic diet. So ketogenic diet is actually no fat diet. It is actually a diet which can be done for a lesser amount of time. That means you cannot do it for a long time. People who have major weight loss problems, or people who have epilepsy, so mostly children who have continuous epilepsy, that this diet is for management of the epilepsy. Okay, because it has been found that ketogenic diet can be helpful in reducing the seizure. So now I'll tell you what is ketogenic diet. So ketogenic diet is actually a fat-based diet. So it has a higher amount of fat. So 70% is fat, 20% is protein, and only 10% is carbohydrate. So you can also say it is a very low carbohydrate diet, or it is a high fat diet, or it is a moderate protein diet. So this diet is very helpful for reducing weight. It is very helpful for maintaining the epilepsy or some health condition, for mostly saying in children. And this diet cannot be done for a long time. For epilepsy also, it can be done only for a year, because again, high amount of fat, this high amount of fat is not good, and sometimes it is very difficult to maintain, because again, if you take very good amount of fat, and if you are not able to choose the fat properly, if you are taking more amount of animal fat and lesser amount of plant fat, then what happens is that these fat can change the cardiovascular system. So it can again lead to cardiovascular damage. So what is the key? So finding a balance is the key to sustainable dieting. So you have to personalize your diet. So a person who can follow vegan diet, so another person may not follow. Okay, so a person can be very much comfortable in ketogenic diet, another person may not follow. So you have to find your own diet. A Mediterranean diet is always better, but always remember whatever diet you follow, you should not be doing a crash dieting. You should be balancing all the nutrients. All of the nutrients should be present. And whenever you change a diet, please do it gradually, because most of the mistakes are being done when we are in a hurry. So always go gradually, because if you are gradually going towards something, then that can help in sustaining the process. Okay, so for example, maintaining a healthy lifestyle is not a one-day effect. It has to be done regularly. And so if you are changing a good habit, like if you change a bad habit every day, if you implement a good habit every day, then again you are benefiting your health. So also please transform in a way so that you can sustain it for a long time. Okay, so these already I have told. So okay, mind diet is another diet which is preserving cognitive function. So it is same like the Mediterranean diet. It also helps in neuroprotection. So it actually has a higher amount of anti-inflammatory factors. For example, berries, green leafy vegetables, fatty fish. It is very important for Alzheimer's disease patients and people who have Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. They can always adopt the mind diet. It is actually a you know. A changed Mediterranean diet. So that diet is called Mediterranean dash intervention for neurodegenerative delay. So it helps in retaining our nerves very well. So again, anti-inflammatory diets and Ornish diets are very good for reducing the different kinds of diet. So what kind of diet should we use should be always in our mind, and we should be going for a scientifically backed up longevity diet. So the food should be always free from any kind of processing. The food should be whole food. It should be unrefined carbohydrates. 55% should be unrefined. If you're taking bread also, it should not be a white bread. You should always go for brown bread or millet bread. You can go for different types of lentils, quinoa, different bran cereals, oats, sweet potato, vegetables. All these should be with the husk. Okay, and also if you're taking proteins, so maximum 15 to 20% should be your proteins. So kidney beans, black beans, fish, white meat, lean meat can be used, and also try to use more amount of plant-based fats. Okay, if you see this, if this can be your plate, then you are going the right way. Okay, so if you can see, this contains the vegetables, this contains the whole grains, this contains the roots and tubers, everything. This part is the proteins, which will be having the lean meats, which will be having the pulses, everything. And this part, that is the 30%, will be the nuts, the avocado, the oil, the fats, dark chocolate. All these things can be included in your diet. Thank you so much for listening. I hope I could do justice to the time given to me. And thank you so much for listening to me. If you give me permission, then I will stop the sharing.
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm open for questions.
I have a question. How many, like a portion control is good for the body? Like after 60, how amount of protein and how much carbohydrate and how much sugar? Like, for the balanced diet, what is your advice for the balanced diet?
Yes,
Like,
for the balanced diet, in the PPT, I want to show you the PPT again. So I want to show the last slide, which I have shared. If you see this,
You shared the thank you one. You have to go.
if you
Yeah.
see this, yes. Can you see this? So if you take 55% of your diet should be vegetables and grains. Okay, and 15% should be your proteins, 30% should be your fat. So if you are distributing your diet like that, then it is very good, and there is no place for sugar, madam. So do not take sugar. Please take fruits, please take vegetables, okay? Please take good amount of protein, take more amount of plant protein. So it has been found that Indians, they have a better gut health. They are having a very good immune system. They have better immune health than other continents, and also they have a lower amount of all these conditions because only they have a good gut health, and that is because they have very good amount of the different type of lentils, chickpeas, kidney beans, black beans. These beans, they are very good, high content of fiber.
Fiber. But if I want to lose weight, like,
So if you want to lose weight, it's a very good question. If you want to lose weight, then what you have to do is you have to lower the amount of cereal. So you have to lower the amount of carbohydrates. Whatever carbohydrate you are taking, it should be, whole grains. And you have to increase the amount of vegetables. So if you see this plate, so here, if you are making a half here, then this part should be, the upper part should be wholly vegetables. The lower part should be cereal and dal, and this part should be the non-veg or the veg protein items, and this part should be your fat.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anyone have any other questions? It was wonderful presentation, Anita.
Thank you so much. I hope I could, because there are so many diets and many people don't know what to follow and what not to follow. So just I want to give a piece of word. So see, it is that we are all different, and no diet is a special diet. Okay, so there is something called personalized diet. So you have to personalize your diet according to your needs.
Right. And quantity wise, always.
Quantity wise, portion, it should be, always remember, it should be a balanced diet. It should not have any kind of processed food. It should not give any kind of health problems. And not only diet, a healthy lifestyle is also very important. Also, a healthy diet makes you very disciplined. So when you follow the healthy diet for at least 2 to 3 weeks, you become very disciplined in many aspects. So you tend to lower the choices of junk food. So you do not, so your hand automatically goes towards the healthy food. You do not, your hand does not go towards the junk food. But that is corrected. You do not like the taste.
How about intermediate diet? Like intermediate fast. It's good,
Yes,
very
I
good.
expected this question. I expected this question. So intermittent diet is actually a good diet, but again, it has some side effects also. So intermittent diet cannot be followed on a long run, because again, it can lead to some amount of deficiency. Also, it has been found that it can lead to some kinds of you can say hormonal disturbances because of the extreme starvation process. So when you do intermittent fasting, you start for some time. For example, 12 hours or 14 hours, 16 hours. Some people also do it for 18 hours. So in that time, you do not eat anything. So at that time, what happens? So you eat everything at once. So mostly you skip breakfast, you eat a very heavy lunch. So many people will not be very happy or very can say comfortable with a very heavy lunch. They may feel very bloated. They may have digestive problems. So that is why you can say that again, that diet does not feed everyone. Again, for intermittent fasting, women who are in their actively in their menstrual cycle, for example, who have a good fertile health, who are not hit by menopause, they have estrogen change. That means the fertility goes down because you are in the starvation mode. So your body does not try to use any energy for extra purpose. It is only using the energy for maintaining its body. It does not think about the new life or reproductive system. It is only concerned about the maintenance of the body. So only maintenance of the body will happen.
And how about the bloating? Your stomach is bloating always. So what kind of food should we eat?
Yes, so bloating is another problem of the digestive system. So bloating is actually caused by if you are choosing wrong type of food. For example, soda, too much of sugar, fried item, preserved food, processed food. Now they again kill the gut bacteria. So when they kill the gut bacteria, so there is a very bad effect on our digestive system, and we have bloating. So the best way is to stop these kind of foods. Take good amount of water, have small amount of meals many times. For example, if you can have small food portions many times, you can give a gap of 3 hours, and you can have the next meal after that. Suppose your breakfast is at 8 o'clock, then you give around 3 hours gap, and 11 o'clock you take a small snack or some buttermilk, and then around 2 o'clock you can have your lunch, or 1 o'clock you finish your lunch, and then again 4 o'clock you can have. So you have small meals but many times a day. That reduces the amount of bloating. And also do a physical activity. So if you walk, the amount of gas production is less. Okay, and the gas passing is better. Bowel movement and gas passing is always better.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions, or I think we are going beyond the time? Thank you so much, Anindita. It was wonderful. You answered all the questions so patiently, and it was a wonderful presentation. Definitely, I have recorded this session, and we are going to post it in the group. Whoever missed, they can take advantage of this session. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all the lovely participants. I hope I could, utilize the time, and I could justify your time. You never I do not want your time to go to waste. Something good I could give you, I could deliver you. No, I hope that is my only motive, and I really liked your presence, and it made me very happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was
Thank
really
you.
very informative.